Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Coy Voice Channel Mix. I'm Coy Coulter, and we're up here at the top of the world because we're doing all the top-notch, crazy, interesting, and creepy TikToks out there. So let's get right to it.
You could ever ask for or ever ask for in the future, you already have right now. You simply are not experiencing it. It is for you merely to reach into the sea of infinite possibilities and call forth the reality you choose now to experience. The reality you choose to now experience through three devices mainly: thought, word, and action. I'll use an example. I want more money. I really want more money in my life. The universe has only one answer to a statement like that. Indeed you do. The universe only says yes. See, God only knows one word: yes. And so you will talk yourself right out of what you're trying to talk yourself into. If you're coming from lack and from a thought that there's not enough because it's your foundational thought, how could they have any thought other than that? How would you expect them to have another thought when their whole experience, the evidence of their own eyes, is that there is not enough? To which a master would reply, "Judge not by appearances." Everything you could ever ask for.
Do you know that driver's licenses?
Here's a fun little vocal production trick that I've been messing around with.
I mean, how ingrained and how connected and interconnected is this technology going to be in our life?
It will be, at some point, indistinguishable from reality.
Where we'll lose this. We'll lose this. Like, you and I are just looking at each other through our eyes. I see you, you see me, I think, I hope.
You think so?
I think you probably have regular eyes.
This could be some simulation.
It could. Do you entertain that?
Well, the argument for the simulation, I think, is quite strong. Because if you assume any improvement at all over time, any improvement, 1%, 0.1%, just extend the time frame, make it 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. What would civilization, if you if you're very generous, civilization is maybe 7,000 or 8,000 years old, if you count it from the first writing. This is nothing. This is nothing. So, if you assume any rate of improvement at all, then games will be indistinguishable from reality.
I mean, how ingrained and how...
Okay, I don't believe we're in a simulation, but when he talks about the game and games and reality, now that's some big level stuff. Like, I've seen videos of like the Google Vision or the Apple Vision and stuff like that, where they make what you see in the game, they make the game actual real footage and you're going through it. So that's pretty crazy.
Money is water by law. This is why all ships are female, because the captain always refers to his ship as she. Why she? Because she delivers the product. So when the ship pulls into harbor, so where it parks is called its berth. It's berthing a ship. And every item on that ship is of money changing hands.
Right.
And so every piece has to have what is called a certificate of manifest, because she is sitting in her berth. That's why when you were born, your mother's water broke. You were inside a container of water. Her water broke and you came out, and therefore you have to have a birth certificate, and it's got to be signed by the dock, because that's where the ship is sitting, because the dock is where the ship sits. Once you begin to see how the words and terms are all based on maritime admiralty, the law of water, the cash flow, the liquid asset. When the British began to dominate the seas, the Knights Templar Masonic order of the Knights Templars came back into Western Eastern Europe, brought all of these concepts, and it was developed into a commercial system of words and terms and symbols which are used in courts and government, corporations. By law, your body, your physical body is a corporation. So when you die, you're a corpse, because when you're living, you're a corporation. You are a business, and hanging out with that person is bad business. Or who I hang out with is none of your business, because your body is a business. So you say, well, what you're doing with her or him is bad business. But, of course, if you get married and she's very wealthy, you say she's of good stock. Words and terms are based on maritime admiralty, the law of water. Money is water.
Jordan Maxwell, deep soul, pretty smart guy though. He's got a lot of interesting stuff to say.
Content output confuses.
And I'll tell you right now, somebody breaks in your house in Santa Rosa County and you...
A lemonade, all right.
Okay, here's the top 3.
The curvature of the earth eludes.
The problem is the folks who have been loyal Democrats who will vote blue no matter who need to wake up. That party has been captured by something that is not interested in the well-being of the country, of the West, of the citizens. It is time for them to go. Personally, I think RFK Jr. is the solution to this problem. I don't know that anybody can solve the problem of the capture.
Can he win?
Yeah.
Is there a pathway that he could become the president?
Yep. There are multiple pathways. That said, do I expect it to go that way? I think we all need to start thinking differently. I think we need to recognize that the capture of our system is such a profound threat to the well-being of the country, to the future of our kids and grandkids, that whatever needs to happen for us to come together and usher those people out in favor of something that is at least just not part of that plan has to happen, right? So as far as I'm concerned, the best shot we've got is Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy is highly intelligent. I think he is deeply patriotic. And I know from interacting with him and watching what he said that he's also courageous. And I really feel like the story, his origin story, makes this like Odysseus returning to the manor, right? Stringing the bow. That this is that iconic moment. And the reasons that I think it's Kennedy and not Trump in terms of our best shot is that Kennedy is a brilliant thinker and he is encyclopedic in his knowledge, and to whatever extent that this is a difficult problem, he's the guy who understands how you address difficult problems, and he will gather the right people and he will figure out what the best approach is. Whether there's any approach that's plausible, I don't know, but I'm convinced that he will address it seriously.
All right, now, I'm not big into politics, so I can't really, go on either side of what he's saying. So, Trump's my guy, though.
This picture is from NASA, and it is their collection of UFO sightings within America. Look at this.
We're gamers. Of course we know we can make... Dana did not have any clue what he was talking about.
Did you know that angels can find human women beautiful?
Have you heard of the iPhone Face ID theory? You know how you can unlock your iPhone and other things using Face ID on Apple phones. Well, watch this video on Shane Dawson.
Camera's closed. Face ID works.
You see how the phone opened whilst the camera was covered? Yeah, the truth is that Face ID doesn't acutely use your camera, but uses an infrared sensor that also shoots thousands of little lasers. These lasers reflect off your face, and the device can pick up very accurately whether it's you trying to get into the phone or not. But wait, that's not it. Did you know that your iPhone also takes pictures of you every 5 seconds and stores all the data about your face? That's why it can still recognize you, even if you grow a beard or if your face changes shape, it still knows it's you, because it recognizes small changes. Have you heard of the iPhone?
That's wild. I have Android. I'm gonna try it. I guess to see if it's the same. I'm sure it is.
Why are you not on this platform just for adults?
Everything vibrates. Have you ever, like if we had an electric razor, we plugged it in, turned it on, set it on this table, bzz, it's going to move around, isn't it? Ever seen that?
Yeah.
That's the beginning of the concept because it's vibrating. Everything vibrates at a frequency, and if you know that frequency, you can control things. And it's all based upon the ancient numbers. And they're developing technologies right now, and they have been. I was recently contacted and given the go-ahead that I could talk. I've been sitting on this for 7 years without talking about it because they asked me not to talk about it. until they had their patents in place and their licensing. That's all happened since last summer. So we're now free to talk about it.
Through this technology, they're able to move stones or cut stones or all the above?
All the above.
And even transport them?
Yes.
What is all this?
Well, this is the Ma, and this is diagramming all the frequencies of the elements and what their vibrational frequencies are and the numbers that measure those frequencies. And they're all the numbers we get from looking at these ancient traditions that recur over and over and over again, that I've been talking about in my sacred geometry classes for decades without knowing what the final result was going to be. And Mazda, the car manufacturer in Japan, is getting ready to do a $25 million testing of some of these prototypes that they believe they can retrofit internal combustion engines with. And there's over 100, they've developed over 100 patents on some of this stuff. And it's amazing.
And what would be the fuel?
Well, plasmoids. Plasmoids, as it says here, are donut or toroidal-shaped clusters of net protons or net electrons that once captured and placed into a toroidal orbit are capable of absorbing, storing, and releasing enormous amounts of energy within their self-generated and structured electromagnetic containment field. Everything vibrates. Have you ever...
Yeah, he talked about the torus field. You know, the yin, the yang, the positive, the negative, hot, cold, boy, girl type thing, and the frequencies with the sine wave. So it's all good stuff.
This is so scary. Urban legend, Papa Legba.
This is how you never run out of... This 1775 Bible shows that March is actually the first month of the year, and Sunday, yes, you heard right, is the first day of the week. Take a look.
There seem to be two explanations of what we now call dreams. First, the common dream may be some computer-type action of the unconscious in sorting out recently perceived data. Second, they are vividly recalled experiences, now called dreams, which may actually be impressions received by the second body while traveling in the released state. There may be many other varieties or subclassifications yet to be learned. There seem to be two explanations of what we...
9 facts about heaven that will surprise you. Number 1, we won't miss our old lives. The upgrade from Earth to heaven will be vastly superior to that from economy to first class. If we would miss something from our old lives, it would be available to us in heaven. Why? Because we will experience all God intends for us. He fashions us to want precisely what He will give us, so what He gives us will be exactly what we want. Number 2, we won't become angels. Death is a relocation of the same person from one place to another. The place changes, but the person remains the same.
You know, how do they know what heaven's going to be like? You know what I mean?
Here's a secret. What went down with the 7 wonders of the ancient world. These structures weren't just incredible. They defied logic, not just back in the day, but even now in the 21st century. Let's dive in. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Imagine this. Built in 600 BC, only to be taken down by earthquakes in 226 BC. Then there's the statue of Zeus at Olympia, crafted in 435 BC. But a fire in the 5th century said, no more. And don't get me started on the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, built in 550 BC. Then some dude decides to torch it in 356 BC. Moving on, the mausoleum at Halicarnassus, standing since 351 BC, but earthquakes between the 12th and 15th century were like, I don't think so, the Colossus of Rhodes. This giant was up by 292 BC and down by an earthquake in 226 BC, and the Lighthouse of Alexandria shining bright since 280 BC, but earthquakes between 1303 to 1480 AD were its downfall. Now here's the kicker, the only survivor, the pyramids of Giza. These bad boys have seen it all, lost a bit of their facade, but are still standing tall and proud. It's mind-blowing, right? What a journey through time, man. What do you think?
Man, that's pretty crazy. All those monuments and that was built that huge back in the day, a lot of that long ago, and then you still got the pyramids standing. So
Have you ever wondered how creators memorize?
Well, when you have people... Okay, I'm going to prove to you guys that the moon actually gives off its own light.
I believe that this thing is...
So whenever shit gets...
Hey, Alexa.
Most people think that cats do not do anything. They are lazy and all they...
Because in maritime courts,
I think probably whatever the Egyptians were doing, I think they were the most advanced. Do you know the story of Oliver Anthony? Do you know Oliver Anthony? No, I don't. This guy...
As a traveling family, flexibility...
You cannot use the law of attraction without the law of vibration. The law of attraction is a secondary law. The law of vibration is the foundation. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. This universe operates by law. Never chase. Attract. Chasing comes from a place of lack and fear. Thoughts that are felt make their way into your subconscious mind, the feminine part of the mind, which is the creative force. From there, the energy of that thought's frequency makes its way into your sympathetic nervous system. This energy is now a part of your DNA and affects your vibration. Your vibration attracts things to you that are in harmony with it. Unlike the conscious mind, the subconscious mind has no power to reject. It has to bring what's impressed upon it into form, whether negative or positive. It is crucial to constantly be in a calm and relaxed state. All you need to do is set a clear intention of what you want and feel like you already have it. See it as already realized. Act upon the idea that enters your mind without overthinking it. If you already mastered the art of thinking, this is the next step. By being in a calm and relaxed state, you allow the universe to speak to and through you. In a state like this, you will attract ideas, conditions, and circumstances that will benefit you in getting the things you desire. You will attract effortlessly. Your life will be easy. They say life is hard. That's just how it is. This is a lie. Life doesn't have to be hard. In fact, it shouldn't be. It is your own perception that dictates whether it's going to be hard or easy. Change your perception. Poverty and failure are a disease of the mind. You should be prosperous. You are imprisoning yourself within your own mind. Heaven and hell are existing on earth at the same time. It depends upon your own mind whether you live in heaven or hell. You are the creator of your life. You are here to learn how to manipulate energy. You cannot use the law of attraction.
Very interesting stuff here. Pretty knowledgeable stuff. Like once you, it's something that I haven't really dived deep into, but it's kind of more of like a common sense thing, I guess. But I do know a little bit about. It seems like it's kind of like the whole manifest thing, but.
I don't give a fuck about what anybody else is doing. How hard is it to...
Examine the Bedford Levels experiment conducted by Samuel Rowbotham in the mid-19th century. Rowbotham aimed to test the curvature of the Earth by observing a straight line across the flat expanse of the Bedford Levels in England. Over a distance of 6 miles, Rowbotham and his team found no signs of curvature, challenging prevailing beliefs about the Earth's shape. Consider the implications of this experiment on scientific understanding and the pursuit of truth.
Yeah, that was one of mine I had to throw in there. Pretty interesting.
Element 115. Element 115 is a super heavy element. It's something that we've only just recently synthesized. We only made 4 atoms of it. The craft uses larger quantities of it, 223 gram little triangles of it. But it's a unique element. When it's exposed to radiation, it produces its own gravitational field, its own anti-gravitational field, and it's what's used to lift and propel the craft and create distortions around it. It's an amazing material. And it's certainly nothing that occurs here or naturally.
And it can be weaponized, and that's kind of the issue here. If this story is all true, that can be weaponized.
Absolutely. I mean, we ran all kinds of tests on it. Everything from atomic absorption and X-ray fluorescence, and every kind of test you could possibly imagine, and bombarded it with radiation to see what effects it would have. They call that neutron activation, but it was a stable element and something.
Bob Lazar, he's my man. There's been a lot of hype, a lot of stuff talking bad on him, but you can just listen to him talk. I've watched the documentary on him, and you can tell he's not lying. He just don't seem like a guy, why would he just make this stuff up? You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is one I made.
In the realm of aviation, where split-second decisions can mean the difference between life and death, there exists a critical instrument that holds the key to navigation, the gyroscope. This unassuming device, shrouded in mystery, is the unsung hero that keeps jets and planes on course. Imagine this. High above the Earth, a jet hurtles through the atmosphere, defying gravity. Within its cockpit, a pilot relies on the gyroscope, a marvel of engineering, to maintain stability and control. But how does it work, and why is it so crucial? Deep within the aircraft's core, the gyroscope spins relentlessly, defying the laws of physics. Its spinning motion creates a force known as gyroscopic stability, a force that resists any attempts to change its orientation. This stability becomes the pilot's lifeline, ensuring the plane stays on its intended path. But here's where the suspense lies. What if the Earth were a spinning ball? The gyroscope's delicate balance would be disrupted. The very foundation of its operation would crumble. The forces acting upon the spinning gyroscope would be at odds with the supposed curvature of the Earth, rendering it useless for navigation. Yet, in the world of aviation, the gyroscope remains steadfast, guiding planes through the skies with unwavering precision. It is a testament to the flat and stationary nature of our Earth, a truth that defies conventional wisdom. So, as you marvel at the sight of a jet soaring through the heavens, remember the enigmatic gyroscope that ensures its navigation. It is a symbol of stability and control, defying the notion of a spinning ball Earth. The gyroscope, a silent hero, continues to challenge our understanding of the world, leaving us in suspense as we ponder the mysteries of flight and the true nature of our planet.
Yeah, so the gyroscope pretty much proves that the Earth is flat. If you don't know nothing about it, hopefully this video helped you out a little bit. But it's just some good knowledge to know.
Hopefully, by the end of this presentation, you'll have a better understanding what I call the Holy Science. The Holy Science consists of astrology and astrotheology mostly. Well, it has for thousands of years, but it's been persecuted, so people don't know the characters when they read about Jesus in the Bible, or Humpty Dumpty for that matter. All the characters are the same entities. These entities are always the most fundamental objects of the solar system. These are the characters that show up in every myth, legend, every great book of gospel. There they are. There's 4 scriptures in the Bible that define God. In Psalms 84:11 it says, "For the Lord God is a sun, S-U-N, and a shield." God is light, John 1:5. God is love, John 4:8. God is a blazing fire in Hebrews. I wonder what the Christians were thinking about. God as a blazing fire. So when Christians talk about their God, it's this God, the maker of physical bodies. Not the prime creator, the demiurge. Like it says, every eye will see him. He's coming in the clouds. I am the light of the world. So these characters keep showing up, and the main 2 characters are always the sun and the moon that go around our earth. Jesus and Mary Magdalene, son of the moon. Abraham and Sarah, son of the moon. King Arthur and Guinevere, son of the moon. And the hero has his 3 men by his side. That's Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So in order, Mercury is Hermes. Venus is Aphrodite. Mars is Aries. Jupiter is Zeus, the god of thunder, and he overtook Kronos, so Saturn as the boss. He just ruled the age of Pisces for 2,000 years. The Jews known as Jehovah. The Catholic Church calls him Peter. Jew Peter. So the church in Rome is the Church of Jupiter, but don't be confused, it's also the Church of Christ. He's the hottest boy in the solar system. He's the coldest of the seven that we see. So they're considered twin brothers. She's Satanist Saturn. They've done this deliberately. They say they're Christian. It's not Christian. It's a Saturnine church, and it's a Latin church. That's why they wear black. They're the Green Reaper. All the fairy tales. Jack of the Beanstalk, Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella. And it doesn't matter if you read the Metamorphosis or the Odyssey or Shakespeare or Dante. It's all the same.
Yeah, that was one I made, and that goes into the holy science. A lot of interesting stuff there. But, Alright guys, that's all we got for you today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And we'll see you on the next one. Dance beneath the golden sun, so let's break free from the mundane, embrace the joy.